Stop, just for a second. Unclench your jaw. Now place a hand over the center of your chest. Feel the warmth, that constant, draining awareness of being too much for the people around you. It's not a personality flaw. It's not an imagined burden. It is the echo of a containment field trying to hold a star. This is the silent exhaustion you carry, the endless draining performance of self-dimming, the constant editing of your thoughts, the softening of your words, the shrinking of your presence to make others comfortable. This performance is a defense against a world that cannot process the frequency of your unedited truth, and you have become an expert at it. You feel this ache of being misunderstood, this longing for a home you can't name, and you've learned to call it loneliness. But it's not loneliness. It is the hum of sovereign incompatibility. It is the dissonance of a high-frequency being trying to operate in a low-density control matrix. In the next few minutes, we will not try to fix you. Instead, you will begin to understand the mechanics of your own light. You will receive the true name for the friction you feel, and you will be given the first key to stop apologizing for the space your soul was born to occupy. You've felt it, haven't you? That feeling of being a star forced into the shape of a street lamp, burning brightly but confined, illuminating a tiny patch of pavement when you were meant to light up galaxies. You have sensed that there is something operating just beneath the surface, a hidden force keeping you in a holding pattern. And what if that feeling of being too much isn't about your volume, but about the room's capacity? Now think with me. What if every time someone called you too much, it wasn't an indictment of you, but a confession of their own limits? What if every moment you felt alienated or misunderstood was your internal guidance system confirming that you were in a low-frequency environment? And what if all this friction was not random punishment, but a carefully placed signal pointing toward the answer you didn't even know you were looking for? It was in seeking answers to this that I recommend to you this digital book called The 11 Arcturian Secrets Behind the Frequency of Success. This book is not just a reading. It is a material created for those who wish to understand the invisible mechanisms that influence results, prosperity, personal fulfillment, and growth. In its pages, you will discover the Arcturian principles that reframe uncontrollability as sovereignty, and finally understand why some souls seem to be in a constant draining battle with the world, while others who hold the same light move through it with grace and power. Many people already feel they need to change something in the way they think, act, and direct their choices, but they still haven't made the decision to access this knowledge. Download it right now. It's available in the first pinned comment. But be warned, few copies remain available. Do not wait another year trying to shrink yourself to fit. The time for shrinking is over. Click now, download your copy, and discover why the frequency of your own sovereignty is much closer than you think. The next time you have to choose between speaking your truth and keeping the peace, I want you to remember this 3-minute key. Remember the subtle flinch in a friend's eyes when you share a piece of your heart. Remember the feeling of a heavy woolen blanket being thrown over your energy in a crowd. Remember the buzzing silence in your ears after you swallow the words you were burning to speak. Those are not failures of connection. They are waypoints. Tuck it away in the depth of your awareness. And beyond our digital guide, Soul, you have here another way to strengthen this message that arrived for you today, and to make it reach more and more souls like you. We don't receive a single cent for each word I deliver to you every day on this channel. As a way for you to give back something of what you receive here, we also keep a voluntary donation link open, right below the digital book in the first pinned comment. Any amount that fits in your hand today, any sum your heart points to, this is what keeps our channel standing. This is what makes the next message reach another soul who needs it exactly the way you needed it today. I'll see you there, soul. And if you need to leave before the end of this video, know that I've already left this key waiting for you in the first pinned comment. If you need to leave before the end, it's there. But stay, because the name of what's happening to you hasn't been said yet. What follows is not a quiz, a list of symptoms for you to diagnose yourself. Consider this a calibration, a series of energetic tuning forks. I will hold them up one by one. You will not need to think about whether they are true. Your body, your memory, your very soul will resonate, or it will not. Listen for the hum of recognition. First, there is the energetic overwhelm. You leave a simple, pleasant social gathering, and you feel a bone-deep exhaustion as if you've just run a marathon. It isn't social anxiety, it's the metabolic cost of broadcasting a 10 watt signal into a room wired for 60 watts, and then processing all the static and blowback that comes from being too bright for the circuit. Second, there is the too much echo. You are sharing something from the core of you, a deep and vulnerable truth that feels like a sacred offering. And you watch in real time as the other person's eyes glaze over. You see them physically recoil, not in malice, but in sheer incomprehension. In that moment, you have become a signal they cannot decode, and the silent judgment in their field is a physical weight you have learned to carry. Third, there is the family frequency gap. You are at a family dinner table. The clatter of silverware feels louder than your voice. You attempt to share a profound insight that has changed your life, and you are met with a beat of silence, a polite but empty smile, and an immediate change of subject to the weather, or a minor complaint about traffic. You feel the crushing weight of being an emissary at a table of strangers who happen to share your blood. And about that moment at the family dinner table you just recognized, the one with the polite, empty smiles, the key to understanding the invisible mechanics of why that happens, why your truth is received that way, is already waiting for you inside the digital book in the first pinned comment. That's all I will say for now. Fourth, there are the midnight knowledge downloads. You awaken at 3:17 a.m., not with a start, but with a sense of complete and total clarity. A complex understanding of a system, a fractal pattern in history, or the true nature of time has been deposited into your consciousness, fully formed. There is a burning need to write it down, to speak it, but the sun is not yet up, and the world you will wake into has no vocabulary for what you now know. And fifth, the most intimate of all, the longing for home. It is a deep, persistent, physical ache in your chest, a homesickness for a place you have no memory of. It's not nostalgia, it is a pull, a magnetic yearning for a sky with two suns, for air that vibrates with a different song, for a feeling of belonging that this world has only ever given you in fleeting, solitary moments of profound connection with nature, or music, or silence. If you felt the hum of recognition in 3 or more of these 5 signs, then it is not by chance that you are here. The Council, the universe, and your own consciousness have already brought you to this transmission for a very specific reason. The time for wondering if you are simply too sensitive or making things up is over. You are not broken. You are being activated. Type 777 in the comments below. In the system of the Council, 777 signifies the end of suppression. Your comment is not platform interaction. It is a location marker in the field. It is a signal that you are present, that you recognize the frequency, and that you are ready for the next layer of the transmission. The internalized belief that your intensity is a flaw that needs to be fixed. There is a classification for this in the ancestral archives. A name for the specific pressure that is put upon a sovereign consciousness when it incarnates within a control system. Before we can dismantle it, we must first name it. And that brings us to the very heart of this message. And I know what brought you here. I know the exact frequency that drew you to this transmission at this exact time. The opening of this hour you are crossing has been seen. The path you are walking has been witnessed. Because between feeling the call and understanding the response, there is a gap that the spiritual adversaries know better than you do. And they thrive in that space of silent confusion, not because the wisdom was denied to you, but because the moment arrived, the very next time you have to choose between speaking your truth and keeping the peace, and you are still missing the user's manual for your own light. And I tell you this because I have seen it happen. I have seen the almost imperceptible flinch in a friend's eyes as a soul like you offers their heart. I have seen the flicker of confusion turn into the wall of invalidation. I have seen the bright, clear signal of a starseed get labeled as too much. I saw the weight of that label become a prison of self-doubt. I saw the pure light of a sovereign soul get dimmed to avoid causing discomfort. And I saw the insidious whisper of the voices of invalidation convince that soul that the problem was them. And you already know this. You just hadn't given it a name yet. Perhaps you have felt the sharp, specific pain of knowing your love or your truth is pure, but watching it be received as an attack, forcing you to retreat when all you wanted was to connect. And what about the deep, cellular loneliness that comes from having no one in your life to talk to about what you truly know, the things that arrive in those 3 a.m. downloads? And then there is the slowest, most corrosive pain of all, the ache of self-betrayal, the slow death that comes from dimming your own light again and again, just to be allowed a seat at a table where you don't even want to be. Now, just for a second, I want you to bring your thumb and index finger together. Not hard, just a gentle touch. This is the oldest micro-commitment in the field. It's a physical anchor point that tells your nervous system, I am here, I am present, and I am ready to receive. Feel the slight pressure. It's a signal you are sending to yourself. It was in search of the answer to this exact ache that I was led to the digital book called The 11 Arcturian Secrets Behind the Frequency of Success. This book is not a collection of theories. It is a transmission. It is an activation key for the part of you that knows it is not broken, just misunderstood. It contains the precise energetic sequences to help you not just cope with your intensity, but to wield it as the gift it was always meant to be. There aren't many copies left in this print run. Click on the link now, secure your copy, and then come back and write in the comments, activated. That word, that single declaration, has a power that no voice of doubt or external invalidation has the force to stop what the Council, the universe, and your own consciousness have already started in you. Whoever honors their own signal above the static finds the kingdom where the world only sees a rebel. The digital book waiting for you in the first pinned comment is built upon this exact architecture. It doesn't just tell you that you are a starseed, it gives you the schematics. It shows you how to identify the signature of your sovereignty. You will learn the language before words. You will be given the framework for deactivating the control program, and you will understand the sacred mechanics of your mission as an emissary. And I know what you might be thinking. For less than the cost of that one dinner where you couldn't speak your mind, for less than buying yet another self-help book that tells you to be more of something you're not, for less than the price of a single moment of wondering if you're going crazy, all alone that you can have the keys. That hesitation you feel, it has a name. It is the echo of the internalized belief that you are the problem, the one who is too difficult, too uncontrollable. But you can choose right now to not let that echo write the next 12 months of your life, not because this wisdom is worth less, but because your freedom is worth more, and it comes with a 7-day guarantee. If you open it, read it, and it doesn't serve you, just send an email and you'll receive a full refund. No questions, no process, no judgment. A clear channel is a clear channel, especially when what's at stake is the very next time you have to choose between speaking your truth and keeping the peace. The risk is ours. The choice this time is yours. Your light doesn't need to be earned, but it does need to be claimed. I received a message just yesterday from a soul, a woman of 42. She wrote, I read the first chapter at 2 a.m. after another night of feeling like a ghost in my own home. I was holding my phone in the dark. By the time I finished the third chapter, I was crying. Not from sadness, but from a kind of relief so profound it felt like I was breathing for the first time. Then there was a young man, just 23, who said, my whole life people told me I was too intense. I tried everything to be smaller, quieter. I bought your book on a Tuesday at 4 p.m. out of sheer desperation. I started reading it on the bus home. It wasn't a book, it was a mirror. For the first time I saw myself, and I wasn't a monster. He didn't have to change, he just had to understand. And these are not isolated events. The recognition of your own light, once it begins, is a cascade. But so often, the people closest to you don't see it. You start to embody your truth and they just see you getting weirder or more difficult. And your family doesn't notice, and your children don't notice. And the silent compromise that chips away at your starlight continues day after day. And this is also why I want to speak to you about the next word that is yet to come through this channel. As I told you earlier, this work is sustained by a reciprocal exchange of energy. Below the link for the digital book in the first pinned comment, you will find a second link for a voluntary donation. It is there for souls who feel the call to give back, to help ensure that the next transmission reaches the next person who needs it at the exact moment of their need. Every such gesture sustains our channel and honors the flow. I will see you there. Again, soul. Now, stay with me. The activation is not yet complete. The keys in the book are powerful, but there is one more layer we must address now in this shared space. There is a word for the state of being that is sovereign, that cannot be controlled, that is not a problem but a solution. A word that comes from the ancestral archives, and I am going to give you that word next. Now, breathe. You have spent years, perhaps decades, working to fix your personality. You have worked on the level of your social interactions, your communication style, your emotional responses, believing that if you could just sand down your edges, you would finally fit. You have been trying to solve the problem of you, but the core issue was never on that level. The friction exists at the level of your galactic origin and its inherent, non-negotiable incompatibility with systems of control. You were trying to redecorate the room when the problem was the very foundation of the house. The term for this in the ancestral archives is sovereign incompatibility. It is not a state of conflict to be resolved. It is a fundamental, diagnostic incompatibility between your core frequency and any system based on limitation, conditionality, or control. It is a design feature of your soul, not a bug in your personality. It is the energetic equivalent of oil and water. They are not at war, they simply cannot mix. To begin to live from this understanding is to make 4 silent, non-negotiable micro-commitments. First, you must commit to recognizing that perceiving your own light is not arrogance. It is accurate perception. Second, you commit to deauthorizing the need for external validation. Your truth does not require a co-signer to be valid. Third, you commit to perceiving control, not just as actions people take, but as an energetic frequency, a field you can choose not to enter. And fourth, the final commitment, to accept that what the world calls your problem is simply your uncontrollability, and that this is your greatest gift to a planet waking from a trance. This state of being is something the spiritual adversaries cannot replicate, counterfeit, or corrupt. Their entire existence is predicated on the principle of consensual or non-consensual control. Sovereignty is an energetic blank spot for them. They can mimic love, they can mimic wisdom, but they cannot mimic a frequency that, by its very nature, refuses to be controlled. To embody it is to become invisible to their systems of capture. Imagine a ship built in a star system of immense gravity and powerful solar winds. Its hull is forged from alloys you cannot name, its engine powered by captured starlight. It is designed to cross nebulae and withstand the pull of black holes. Now imagine that magnificent ship trying to navigate a narrow, shallow, winding river on Earth. It would constantly be running aground. It would be too wide for the channels, too deep for the riverbed. The river pilots would call it difficult, clumsy, a problem. But the ship was never the problem. The environment was simply not built to contain it. You are that ship. You have been judging your celestial navigation system by the standards of a river barge. I'm going to tell you about a soul. We'll call her M. Not her initial, but the designation we use for a threshold crosser, one who has passed through this exact gate. M arrived in our field of awareness, feeling exactly where you are now. That she was the problem. For years, M believed her very essence was a mistake. Too loud, too sensitive, too passionate, too much. She spent decades and a small fortune trying to fix herself. Therapy, self-help books, spiritual bypass techniques, anything to sand down her edges and become more palatable. She learned to expertly mimic the behavior of normal people, but it felt like wearing clothes that were 3 sizes too small, slowly suffocating her spirit. The turning point wasn't a breakthrough in therapy. It was a moment of quiet surrender, sitting in her car in a grocery store parking lot, when a thought landed in her mind with the force of a comet. What if the container is the problem, not the contents? What if she wasn't too much, but was simply trying to pour the entire ocean into a teacup? From that day, M stopped trying to shrink. Instead, she became a sacred scientist of her own soul, She began to hunt not for fixes, but for knowledge, for the user's manual she was never given. She studied ancient texts, energetic frequencies, and cosmic lineages, not as a hobby, but as a life or death mission to understand her own operating system. She learned to bypass the world's invalidation and listen to the signal that had been there all along. In doing so, she stopped seeing her nature as a liability and recognized it as a technology, a highly advanced sovereign technology that the old world's control systems simply could not pass. And she didn't just learn this for herself. M didn't take this wisdom into silence. She recorded every insight, every frequency key, every practical technique with meticulous precision. And it is this exact lineage of wisdom, this user's manual for the sovereign soul, that forms the heart of the digital book you will find waiting for you in the first pinned comment. But the deepest truth of this is still ahead. This knowledge is not just an idea, it is a frequency, and like any frequency, it must be grounded in a physical vessel to have any effect in this dimension. It must be grounded in your body. So take a breath, feel the weight of your bones in your chair. Sovereign incompatibility is not an abstract diagnosis. It is the feeling in your solar plexus when you're about to shrink your truth to keep the peace. It is the heat in your face when you are invalidated. It is the choice in every single moment between the familiar constriction of the container and the terrifying, liberating expansion of your true form. This is not a singular identity. It is a trinity of roles your soul is playing right now inside this human experience. First, there is the emissary. This is the part of you that carries the blueprint of your home world, the part that feels that constant, aching longing for a place you can't name. Its function is not to torture you with homesickness, but to be a silent, constant anchor for a frequency this planet desperately needs. Second, there is the sovereign signal. This is your pure, unedited broadcast, the truth that exists before you run it through the filter of, will this be too much for them? The very existence of this signal, in its raw and uncontrollable state, is what creates the too much echo you experience in others. Its function is not to be understood by everyone, but to disrupt the static of the control matrix, just by existing. It is a frequency jammer for the old world. And third, there is the sacred scientist of the soul. This is the part of you that M activated in that parking lot. It is the curious, detached observer that takes notes on what makes your energy expand and what makes it contract. It trusts direct experience over received dogma. It is the part of you that receives those midnight knowledge downloads and knows they are not fantasy, but data. Its function is to build, piece by piece, the unique user's manual for your own soul. But the emissary without the full activation key is just a chronic outsider. And the very next time you have to choose between speaking your truth and keeping the peace, the internalized belief that you are the problem will make that choice for you. That is why this channel exists, and it is why that digital book was created. Subscribe to this channel, and you are making a commitment to integrate this new identity. You are telling the universe that for the next 12 months, you are prioritizing the signal of your own soul. The full framework is in the book in the first pinned comment. The ongoing calibration happens here. They are two parts of the same key. The choice you make on this in the next 72 hours will determine the frequency you carry into that next difficult conversation. What M discovered, what we are exploring now, is not a random collection of insights. It is a four-stage framework for liberation. This is the path we will walk for the remainder of our time together. First, we will learn to deactivate the control program, the internal software that scans for external approval before allowing your truth to be spoken. Second, we will learn to feel and own the signature of sovereignty, your unique energetic fingerprint that is fundamentally uncontrollable. Third, we will explore the language before words, reframing your intensity not as a personality flaw, but as a dialect of pure, energetic information. And finally, we will fully step into the emissary's mission, understanding that your purpose was never to fit in, but to be a living beacon for a new frequency on this planet. To accept this framework is an act of power. If you are ready to walk this path, write "activated" in the comments below. It is not a word for me. It is a signal to your own cells that the recalibration has begun. But before we can deactivate the control program, you must first understand who wrote the code. And right now, a part of you is listening to all of this and it is saying, "This is just a beautiful story." It's a poetic way to justify being difficult, a spiritual excuse for arrogance. I hear that voice, but understand what it is. It is the voice of the control program itself, the part of you trained to see any claim to personal sovereignty as an act of ego. It equates self-recognition with selfishness, because a soul who truly knows its own worth can no longer be controlled by the fear of being too much. Another part of you, the practical, grounded part, might be thinking, "This sounds like escapism. It's a way to avoid dealing with the real world." And again, this is a feature of the control program. It convinces you that your only valid mission is to adapt to a system that is fundamentally out of alignment with your spirit. It tells you that fixing a broken world means becoming a more efficient cog in its machine, when your real mission is to anchor a frequency that makes the entire machine obsolete. And then there is the most wounded part, the one that whispers, "I've tried things like this before, I've bought the books, I've done the workshops, and I'm still here." Of course you are, because you were trying to fix the problem of your personality. You were sanding down the edges of the star, hoping it would fit into a square hole. The work was on the wrong level. This is not about fixing, it is about recognition, and that changes everything. To walk this path, you must understand the invisible terrain. The spiritual adversaries do not meet you on a battlefield. They operate inside your own mind, using three primary tactics. The first is the voice of doubt. It speaks with perfect logic. You will have a moment of profound clarity, a true download from your higher self, and this voice will immediately say, "Are you sure? That sounds a little crazy. You should probably check with someone else first." It doesn't feel like an attack. It feels like responsible, rational thinking. Its purpose is to sever your connection to your own knowing before it can take root. The second tactic is the cycle of distraction. You will feel a surge of creative energy, a clear call to write, to create, to speak. You sit down to begin, and suddenly you feel a compelling urge to clean the kitchen, or check your email, or research an irrelevant fact online. It feels like a normal everyday impulse, but it is a sophisticated frequency jammer designed to drain the initial energetic charge of your mission into 1,000 meaningless tasks, leaving you too depleted to follow your true impulse. And the third most insidious tactic is the isolation of perception. You will feel that deep ache of longing for home, that profound sense of being a stranger here. The tactic is the thought that immediately follows, "I am the only one. No one else feels this. There is something wrong with me." It takes the most sacred signal of your starseed nature and twists it into a weapon of shame and alienation, convincing you that your uniqueness is a prison when it is, in fact, a key. But for every tactic, there is a countermeasure, a simple, sovereign technology. When the voice of doubt arises, do not argue with it. Do not try to prove it wrong. Simply take 3 conscious breaths and in your mind say, "Thank you for your perspective. I am choosing to trust this signal." You are not defeating it. You are deauthorizing it as the final arbiter of your truth. When you feel the pull of the cycle of distraction, do not fight the urge with willpower. Instead, place a hand over your heart, feel the warmth, and stay with the original creative impulse for just 90 seconds. Breathe into the feeling of it. You are not forcing yourself to work. You are honoring the energy, allowing it to anchor in your physical body before it can be siphoned away. And when the isolation of perception whispers that you are alone, you will anchor yourself in the collective grid. You will say the words out loud into the empty room. "I am one of many. My people are here." You are short-circuiting the lie of separation by declaring your place in an invisible but very real family of souls. The voice of that inner skeptic, the one that tells you this is just a story, has a specific frequency, and when you have to choose between your truth and keeping the peace, it is that voice, not yours, that often makes the final decision. It is the voice that says, "Don't rock the boat. Just be quiet this time." When you feel the heat rise in your face because someone has just invalidated you. When you find yourself editing an email for the 10th time to sound less intense. When you feel that deep, specific ache of homesickness for a place you can't name. That is the moment of choice. The digital book in the first pinned comment is the user's manual for that exact moment. The choice you make in the next 72 hours about whether to access it will define what happens in the next 1,000 of those moments. It's the voice you confuse with your own, and now you have the chance to finally tell them apart. Be warned. This knowledge, once it is heard, cannot be unheard. It is now active in your energetic field. To turn away from it now is not a return to the peaceful ignorance of before. It is to invite a new kind of internal friction, the static of your soul grinding against the conscious denial of its own nature. It will manifest as a weariness in your bones, a creative block, a dimming that you can now feel with agonizing clarity, because you know what you are dimming. And now we will perform the recalibration directly in your cells. In the next 72 hours, your body will begin to integrate this shift. 3 things may happen. Do not be afraid of any of them. They are not symptoms of illness, they are evidence of recalibration. First, you may experience sudden palm heat. For no reason at all, your hands will become intensely warm, as if you are holding them over a fire. This is not anxiety. This is the main energy circuits of your emissary body coming online. When it happens, do not shake them out. Place them on your thighs, your chest, or your face. Feel the current. You are becoming reacquainted with your own power. Second, you may find yourself engaging in spontaneous truth-telling. In a casual conversation, a raw, unedited truth will leave your lips before your mind can stop it. You will feel a moment of panic. This is not a social blunder. It is the control program experiencing a glitch, allowing the pure signal to bypass the filters. Do not apologize. Do not retract. Simply observe the ripple it creates in the field. You are relearning the frequency of your unedited voice. Third, you will have vivid dreams that feel more like memories. You will dream of star-filled skies you don't recognize, of complex geometric patterns, of communication that happens without words. These are not fantasies. This is your consciousness processing cosmic data and calibrating to the frequency of home while your body rests. When you wake, do not try to remember the plot. Remember the feeling. That feeling is your true energetic north, and if you feel this calibration beginning, there is an action you can take right now. Press the like button on this transmission. Do not see it as a metric for a platform. See it as a pulse of light. Every time a soul like you presses it, you are adding your energy to a collective grid, making the signal stronger and easier for the next searching soul to find. It is an act of service to the field. And now we will ground this activation. Sit upright, with your spine straight but not rigid. Place both feet flat on the floor. Uncross your legs. Rest your hands in your lap, palms facing up, open to receive. Take a slow, deep breath in, and as you exhale, gently close your eyes. Imagine a shimmering, golden cord of light extending from the base of your spine, down through the chair, through the floor, deep into the core of the earth. Feel it anchor there, into the crystal heart of the planet. With each breath, you feel a low, steady hum coming up this cord, the 783 Hz frequency of the planet itself, the Schumann resonance. This is your grounding. This is your anchor in this dimension. You are safe. You are held. Now, bring your awareness to your solar plexus, the space just above your navel. See a warm, glowing orb of amber light begin to form there. This is the seat of your will, your identity in this world. Feel its warmth. Now, allow your awareness to rise to the center of your chest, your heart space. See an orb of brilliant emerald green light begin to pulse there. This is your connection to all things, the seat of your unconditional love. As you breathe, see a bridge of light form between the amber and the green, a biophotonic bridge. Your will and your heart are now in coherence. From the heart, allow your awareness to drift up to your throat. See it fill with a soft, sky blue light. Then move up to the center of your forehead, your third eye, and finally to the pineal gland, deep in the center of your brain. See it begin to glow with a violet, electric light. This is the master crystal. Feel the piezoelectric resonance as the light activates it. Feel the photoreceptors in your eyes, even though closed, register this inner light. Feel a subtle vibration travel down your vagus nerve, a fiber optic cable carrying this new signal of sovereign incompatibility from your brain to your gut. Now bring your awareness to the crown of your head. See a column of brilliant, white gold light descend from the cosmos, from the heart of your home star, pouring in through your crown. It fills your entire body, every cell, every strand of DNA, upgrading it, recalibrating it, reminding it of its true origin. Feel the expansion. You are not a body containing a soul. You are a star contained for a time in a body. Now, take a slow, deep breath in for a count of 4. Hold it for 2, and exhale slowly for 6. As you exhale, gently bring your thumb and index finger together, sealing the circuit. Stay here for just a moment. Feel the hum of your own sovereign field, now activated and coherent. Feel the peace. Feel the quiet power. When you are ready, you can slowly open your eyes. And in this space together we release what is no longer needed. Say it with me, in the quiet of your heart. We release the fear of seeming strange or different. We release the need for our truth to be received as an attack. We release the cellular loneliness that comes from believing we are the only ones who feel this. We release the slow, corrosive habit of self-betrayal, the dimming of our own light for the comfort of others. It is done. And now we activate what has always been true. We call them by their names. The emissary. You are this. The name was not given. It was recognized. And now it is installed in your field as a permanent signal. The sovereign signal. You are this. The name was not given. It was recognized. And now it is installed in your field as a permanent signal, the sacred scientist of the soul. You are this. The name was not given, it was recognized. And now it is installed in your field as a permanent signal. The activation is complete. Now, we build the sanctuary. And so, this new coherent field must be protected. We now wrap this activated frequency in a cover of golden light, sealing the perimeter of your energy field from the ambient static of the old world. This is not a wall, it is a resonant membrane. It allows love, truth, and connection to flow freely in and out, but it filters out the frequencies of invalidation, control, and doubt, causing them to simply slide past, unable to find a purchase. We now seal this frequency within every cell. The light you have anchored in your pineal gland now floods your nervous system, not as a command, but as an invitation. Every cell is invited to remember its stellar origin, to hum at the frequency of home. This is a cellular commitment to sovereignty, a biological non-compliance with the control matrix. Your body becomes a temple for your own light, no longer a vessel for the world's expectations. And finally, we sustain this opening. We plant a seed of emerald light in your heart that is self-generating, drawing energy not from external validation, but from the cosmic currents of truth. This light will pulse in moments of challenge, a silent reminder in your own chest that your intensity is sacred, your sensitivity is a superpower, and your uncontrollability is your service to a world waking up. We break the voice of doubt before it can arrive, and its logical seductions find no purchase on a mind that has chosen to trust its own signal. We dissolve the cycle of distraction before it can materialize, and its 1,000 urgent trivialities are revealed as ghosts in the presence of a soul anchored in its true mission. We dismantle the isolation of perception before it can close you in, and the lie of your aloneness evaporates in the felt presence of the collective grid you now command. And we, the collective of souls who have walked this path, who know the ache of a home you cannot name, we say to you now that feeling of being too much was the cry of a star being told it was merely a candle. We see you. The unbearable weight of being an emissary at a table of strangers was not your failure. It was the final grinding test of a cycle that is now complete. We saw you leave 1,000 gatherings feeling drained and questioning your own sanity, and we tell you now it was not social anxiety. It was your spirit accurately perceiving a low-frequency environment. We saw you ache with a homesickness for a sky with 2 suns. And we tell you now, it was not nostalgia. It was the magnetic pull of your own origin calling you to remember. The restlessness in your soul, the constant churning feeling that you are not doing enough, not being enough. Feel it dissolve now. It was the friction of your own sovereign nature grinding against the cage of a false identity. But the cage is gone. The door was never locked. You were simply taught to believe you were the cage. And so the cycle of self-dimming, of shrinking to fit, of apologizing for the light you carry, is hereby closed. It is closed in your timeline. It is closed in your lineage. It is closed in the collective field. It is a story you can now tell, but no longer need to live. We seal this now. What has been activated cannot be deactivated. What has been seen cannot be unseen. You walk from this moment not as a problem to be solved, but as a living anchor for a frequency the world desperately needs. You are a solution. My own hands are warm as I speak these words. My own breath has changed its rhythm. This is not a performance, it is a transmission. And the energy that moves through me is the same energy that is now recalibrating you. Something was seen here. Something was recognized. A part of you that has been in shadow, that has been silent for lifetimes, has just been met with the light of its own source. Your journey from this moment on is not about becoming someone new. It is about the courage to simply be what you have always been. You are sovereign. You are sovereign. You are sovereign. Don't say activated yet, just stay in this. Feel the truth of those words land in your bones in the quiet space behind thought. Feel the resonance of your own silent yes. Now, you can say activated. Now breathe. The signal is yours. And even now I feel the part of you that listened to that collective declaration, that felt the shift in your own cells and is already preparing to let this feeling fade. It is the part that says, that was beautiful, but tomorrow is Monday. This is where the real work begins, not in the ceremony, but in the choice you make when you are tired, when you are challenged, and when the old world presents you with a mirror that reflects back the person you used to be. This is why we created the digital book, The 11 Arcturian Secrets Behind the Frequency of Success. It's not for the person you are in this moment of high activation. It is for the person you will be tomorrow morning, the one who needs the practical keys, the daily frameworks, the user's manual for what to do when the static of the world tries to drown out your signal again. It costs less than a coffee and a pastry you buy just to sit alone and feel normal for 10 minutes. It costs less than a movie ticket to escape a world that feels less real than the one inside you. And it comes with a 7-day guarantee. The risk is ours. The hand is yours. And I know the voice that is whispering to you now. It says, you can do this later. You can bookmark this. It says, you don't need this, you have the feeling now. It even says, what if it doesn't work? That is the voice of the old program, the one designed to keep you from ever having to truly choose your own sovereignty. It thrives on later, but your soul operates on now. And now the final word belongs to you. And in our next transmission, we will not talk about protecting the signal. We will talk about broadcasting it. We will talk about the sacred art of difficult conversations, how to speak your unedited truth to the people you love without it being received as an attack. We will cover the mechanics of the carrier wave, the frequency of compassion that allows your uncontrollable truth to be heard. But before I seal this hour, there is one last thing. This video was not an accident. It was an appointment set by the Council, the universe, and your own consciousness. And for those souls who know in their bones that this work must continue, that this signal must be kept strong, there is a way. In the first pinned comment, below the link to the book, is a link for a voluntary donation. Every gesture of support, no matter the size, is a vote for this light to stay on, for this frequency to reach the next soul waiting for their own appointment. And heaven sees. This was my last request. I will see you there, soul. And if you know you are one of many in this field, if you felt the collective grid light up during our activation, add your energy to it now. Share this video with one other soul, not someone you think needs to be fixed, but someone you recognize as part of your tribe even if they don't know it yet. For that one person who you know is not the problem, but has been convinced they are, that one who is carrying the silent compromise that chips away at their starlight, This is the echo of your own soul. The short version of the 11 Arcturian secrets is waiting for them in the first pinned comment. It is not your favor, it is service, and heaven sees. The next time we will speak of the language before words. The silence now is also part of the transmission.